Begin. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome back to Talk It Up MTG. I am Rob.
And I'm Zoe.
And we are in person. We are live.
What? Oh my god.
Don't you touch me, you son of a bitch. No.
Right into the camera. Right.
You made me give the Montgomery Burns shiver right there. Just but anyways, we are now recording. We are in person. We are here at my home, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Magic the Gathering today, as we always do. And we have a lot of news this time.
Holy crap! Yeah. Oh my god. Some of which I'm looking forward to talking about, some of which I'm not. But we'll cross those bridges when we get there.
Yeah. I think we're going to crash into the bridges head on.
Yeah.
Speaking of crashes and bugs and, well, it has its on and off moments. There's sometimes when they actually are on the ball, but Arena, man.
Arena.
So, I figure we start here because I wanted to talk to you. This is your first time playing Magic the Gathering Arena. You've been on it now for about a week again.
Yeah.
And first week thoughts?
For me, I'm not gonna. I haven't even been consistently playing this whole week. That kind of. I think for me, it's gonna take a bit to really get into the swing of it. Right now, I have like a Gruul Brawl deck, which I'm kind of happy with where that is right now, with the limited card pool that I have right now. And I think that's the frustrating thing for me. I'm so used to having like the card pool that I have in my collection that going into Arena, like, oh, I only have these, and I don't even have like whatever stuff. Okay.
God, I wish they could add trading. That we'll dive into all that in a moment.
Yeah.
Who are you running as your commander in Historic Brawl?
What is it called? It's the Null from AFR that's 2 mana that has the pack tactics. I forget his name, but
I believe it's Targnar, right?
Yeah, I think that's
like
it.
That. So yes, Targnar, Demon Fang Null.
Yeah, it's just a nice, good little it's 2 mana commander. It's nice. It's a nice aggro kind of deck. It's pretty interesting to run so far. As far as like, I think the other thing for me with Arena right now has been I have been building Singleton with the Singleton mindset for so long. I have forgotten how to build 60 card with more than 1 card each. I am just at a loss a little bit.
Like, it is. Yeah, it's weird to get back into the swing of like doing 4-ofs and figuring out, because there were certain cards that just didn't work because you needed them to be 4-ofs. So, like, you look at something like even in my werewolf deck, Rahilda is okay by itself, but I honestly cut it out of a lot of the decks I was running, a lot of the werewolf decks I was doing. And it's honestly not even as good because this is just a 2/2 first striker in Historic Brawl. But comparatively in regular alchemy, the card does work because I have the 4-of. I have the ability to recast one if it ends up dying again.
Right.
Like, Outland Liberator is another one where it's just by itself, but having the ability to run multiples it makes it more willing to be able to sacrifice it to destroy just one enchantment over trying to keep it on the board so I can attack with it.
Right.
That's more of how I'd run it in Historic Brawl versus being in regular Standard. But yeah, now I'm looking at Targnar. Like, I forgot that it was 2 mana. Yeah. That is impressive for 2 mana.
Right.
Getting out 6 power is going to be easy for you.
I played a game with the deck, And granted, it's kind of like a patchwork, basically just whatever beaters I have in the deck for now. And even then, like, getting to that 6 power is nothing. I also put like whatever boost spells in there that I can to like increase creatures' power and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it gets up there like that.
Okay, sweet. So what have been some of the more interesting decks you've played against? Have you really thought about?
Well, since I've mainly been doing standard brawl because of my current card pool on Arena, since I don't have too much of like the older cards on there yet, mono white is definitely a thing in standard brawl. Like, holy crap! especially portable hole.
Like, portable hole is the bane of my existence. I hate that card.
Like, it almost makes me consider like making some sort of like white colored deck. What is it? I think in whatever standard here and there that I've played, it's well, I played briefly in the event that they had, which was like the 4 different decks you could try out and you play for whatever. I played like a few games. I picked the vehicle deck, but then I kept playing against the blood deck. And I was thinking to myself, I should have picked that instead. Yeah. Because, like, and I'm thinking, like, holy crap, I kind of thought that blood was going to be an interesting mechanic, but now that I think about all the stuff where it's like, oh yeah, sacrifice artifact, or doing things like that, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's where it's useful.
And, yeah, well, it's interesting because blood tokens, like, that's another kind of deck that works way better in regular kind of standard over singleton commander. There isn't enough blood token support to fully make a deck revolve around it in commander. Right. But in standard, you could run the 4 of the. There's that one red creature that makes a blood token and does damage to everyone, to each opponent. I deal with that every goddamn day.
Hell, there's the red-black vampire that's just red-black, and you, I think, tap it, or you pay whatever mana, I think, and tap it, and it deals X damage to a creature equal to the number of blood tokens you have. Or it gives it's like it gives it -0, -X equal to, it does something, but it basically messes with with creature's toughness equal to the number of blood tokens you have. So I was just kind of like, the vehicle deck was fun to play with. And I do see, but then I do see where vehicles are cool standard. But then again, that was also me kind of having to relearn how to also play one-on-one.
Yeah.
Because in Commander, I've been used to, okay, I can hang back a little bit and then seize my opportunities. But now I'm like, I just have to do whatever where I can, you know?
Yeah, it completely.
I can't be defensive all the time.
It completely changes your mindset. You don't really realize just like. Because, yeah, you got to play politics in Commander especially. Oh, yeah. So you don't realize how much you have to really change. I didn't think about it until I started playing Arena. Like, I try to manipulate the table all the time. I can't manipulate one opponent.
It's like, if you don't attack me this turn, I won't attack you. Like, well, it's only the 2 of us, so what the hell is even what are we even doing here? Like, so there's been that hurdle for me, but I think I kind of have a game plan as to what I want, how I want to go about making whatever standard deck. Maybe even I might go into alchemy or historic just based on the cards I have, because certain cards I wanted to run in standard all of a sudden are not standard legal anymore.
Yep. So
it's just kind of like,
and especially being a new player, I mean, we're gonna get into the talk about getting wild cards for you, but
I haven't spent mine yet. I'm kind of waiting on that.
Yep. And you might have to spend a little bit of extra time and money on those. But we'll get into that. But before we get any further, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us out immensely. At Thermagic MTG. At Forward Gaming. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Tell the ones you love. Because I love you. I don't know where that came from. I literally just made it up as I was talking.
That was good though. Shit.
The true power of filmmaking, pulling it out my ass.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get right into the nittiest of grittiest.
Yep.
We had a little. They've been setting up this stream that Wizards was planning on running for a long time.
Yeah.
But you know that they've been dreading doing it. This is the State of Arena economy address, and they gave us some news that I'll be honest, it did not make me happy. I'm gonna be straight up forward before anything else. I'm not pleased with what we got, and let's go ahead and get into why.
Yep.
So, change number one will actual change. I will give them this. It's an actual change, and I will start off with the good-ish thing that they're doing. So,
the not as negative.
yeah. So, we're getting mythic packs. The first event. So, you can pay the normal cost of getting just buying a pack of Magic the Gathering individually is 1,000 gold, or 300 gems, I believe is what it is. What you could do in an alternative is purchase the regular pack for 1,000 gold, or for 1,300 gold, you get a pack that will guarantee to have a mythic wild card or a mythic in the pack. Instead of being just a rare, it'll be guaranteed mythic. Which,
Because I mean, just in paper in general, you have sets where certain mythics are just bulk and super jank and don't even really work in Commander, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So whereas I feel like a lot of the good cards of sets are in that rare. Like, yeah, you do have some amazing mythics, but it's based on the set is really the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's go through. Honestly, before I even go through that, the main issue that I've had with Wizards Economy, and this something that I think that they could work around, but they want their money. I get it. Is the land slot in a lot of decks. As far as lands go in Standard or Historic Brawl, that's where the majority of your wild cards are going. And most of the lands are rare.
Yep.
And not mythic.
Yep.
So, with that being the case, there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to go and try, it just doesn't do enough to really supplement past that. If it was a pack that was guaranteed to be a rare, I'd actually be more excited. It getting rid of the mythics, yeah, you'll get your planeswalkers. You'll get the highest of high end, but it doesn't fix what you're really having the problem with, and that is, in my opinion, the land base in Arena's economy just doesn't work, because you have a lot of decks that need the 4-ofs of Beseiju, the 4-ofs of Faithless Haven, the 4-ofs of the dual lands, all the dual lands from the Innistrad block, all fantastic, but they're all rare. With that being the case, it doesn't help you out on what you really need. And that was my main deal. I would have been much happier if it was the rare. But all in all, I like the idea of them doing the mythic packs. I think it's a step in the right direction as far as giving players the ability. if there is just those planeswalkers that you need, or if you're trying to fill up that wild card slot, you need to, and you want to try and get out of the way all the mythics that you can. Mm-hmm. This gives you the option. If you have a bunch of extra gold, make it work.
I just feel it's kind of weird that it's also like 300 gold more than a regular pack.
Yeah. Where did you come up with the 1,300? Like
that's kind of what I want to know. Like
the pricing issues just in general.
Like that was another thing for me. Like that's kind of a slight barrier for me is I don't even know if I should be getting packs because it's 1,000 gold per whatever, and like for me you have to basically just do like complete whatever goals every single day just to be able to get like a pack a day.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like things like play 40 creatures, play 20 creatures, play 20 of black or red spells, play 20 of blue or white spells, and it's kind of like all these specific stuff to where you kind of have to build a deck around it. In my case, that might not even be playable because of the cards I have.
Yep.
Just to try to get those rewards and get that gold. And it's just kind of like, I might as well just hoard it and try to draft.
Yeah. Last night, I was, my thing was, it told me that I had to attack with 45 creatures. So, I was playing my werewolf deck. That thing took me forever to do. I was just playing. I was trying to play just a little bit of casual run.
Yeah, just.
And I literally had to play. I believe it was 6. No, because I got it yesterday. I got the thing to tell me to. I had to grind. I played like 4 games on Sunday with the werewolf deck. I was attacking with about 3 creatures every turn, and from like turn 3 on. And I was playing last night. Again, I was attacking pretty consistently. I was just swinging out pretty much every turn I could.
Right.
And it still took me about 9 games to finish. 9 to 10 games. Like, it's a grind.
Yeah.
To try and get through some of these qualifications. And for a new player, trying to get just some basic ass gold.
Just so I can get packs and be able to get cards and get wild cards and get whatever. Like I said, at this point, I might as well just try to hoard and like go to a draft and try to do a draft because it's going to take some time to go through the draft and whatever, but at least I'll get whatever cards and possible rewards out of it.
Yeah.
Like
you'll get into honestly, limited is looking more and more tempting on there, and that's a shame because they're trying to push alchemy for some god awful reason. I don't get that either. Like, alchemy's cool and all, but if anything, you're bringing people and keeping people through. I think you'll be through historic brawl. That's the thing I'm aspiring
to getting the cards for, honestly, is just to be able to play historic brawl all day.
Mm-hmm. That's where the fun is, really. But you gotta grind, or you can buy your way, and it's gonna take you a lot of money to buy your way. So, change number 2. They are now selling wild cards here at the here with Old Wizards. So,
this is where I have a majority of my opinions and things.
Yeah. So for a grand total of $50, you will be able to get a pack of 12 rare wild cards and 4 mythic wild cards.
Now, I will say, I still don't like this, but I remember I saw a thread that someone made where they compared the prices of, like, taking out the uncommons and commons from, like, whatever top standard decks are out right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just looking at the rares and mythics that are in the decks, how much money the decks cost in paper versus how much money it would cost to just get the wild card packs. And for certain decks, it is cheaper to get the wild card packs. But my thing with that is, it's still $50 for, you said 12 rares and 4 mythics?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Like, $50, that gives you, so 12 rares, that is, what, 3 play sets? Three play sets of rares.
And a play set.
And a play set of a mythic.
So that's 4 play sets of cards.
Minus getting the cards for your actual deck, that almost fills up the land slot, the land issues that we had, but it still doesn't even fix that. So on top of the, like, now you have the lands, but you still got to get the rest of the cards for the deck. You still need those. You still need more wild cards. Like, it's still going to be a monstrous grind for a ton of people. That's unnecessary. Like, in my opinion, this is for the people who are putting money into the game. You are genuinely, like, I want to be able to play the top tier deck, and that's it.
Yeah, like, for me, it's for that, as well as people, as well as the more competitive, the ones who are playing competitively, who are playing and getting whatever out of it.
Yeah,
you know?
And the ones who get screwed over, the ones who,
the casual people.
Yeah, the players like you and I.
Yeah, I don't want to put money into a free-to-play game like this.
Yeah, especially a game that you just got back into.
Yeah, I just, like you said, like this past week, I recently downloaded Arena because I also got a new phone that actually can handle it.
Upgrade!
But yeah, so I wanted to try it out again because I remember I briefly had it on PC before, but now it's like having it on the phone is like way better. But you're kind of like starting to close me off a little bit, and it's just like, I don't know. Like I'm still gonna give it a shot. I'm still gonna whatever. And I remember I posted a tweet where I was like, these announcements are damn near making me want to uninstall it now. And there was a person that was like, yeah, like it's cool for like casual and, you know, for stuff like that. But if you are trying to get more competitive, yeah, it can be. Yeah. No.
Yeah. In my honest opinion, and I don't know why they didn't do it. It would have been perfect for all levels of players. Make it $3, $2 or $3, per wild card. That way, you are specifically buying as many as you need. You know what you need, and you get the ability to fluctuate how you please. So, like, if you say, like, if you just need like one Liliana, or you need, or not Liliana, Professor Onyx, or you need, like just 2 more copies of Beseiju. Spending $4 and then like make the mythics, make them like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
make it a little higher. I get
like,
that.
You know, like maybe like make like, because they probably don't want to charge like cents. Maybe like make the commons like $1, make the commons $2, make the rares $3, and then make the mythics like $4. Kind of like a, you know,
all the way up the step.
You know, like going up, so to speak.
That would work out way better. I think people will be much more willing and open to paying what would be $11 for the cards that they genuinely need and the only ones that they need, versus paying $50 just to fill in like 1 mythic wild card slot, and if you need like 4 rares, now you're stuck with all of these extra wild cards
that you may or may not use depending on whatever.
Exactly. That feels, as a player, it feels better. It feels not as demanding, and that will open it up for casual players and regular players to enjoy and get into it.
And I think it would also end up being a bit better off even for professional players, because they could just, like you said, just pick and choose with how many they need for the deck that they're playing, and that way they're not having to spend $50 a pop every time.
Yeah.
To be able to build a deck.
Like think about like bringing in, let's say MTG. Well, we're on MTG Goldfish. Let's talk about Seth. Like Seth on Olive. He's one of those whale players who can kind of just spend money as he pleases into the game. And
more power to him for being able to do that.
Mm-hmm. He was talking about trying to get his little brother into the game, playing on Arena.
Yeah.
And he gave him, I can't remember how much he said. It was either $400 or $1,000 to like work with and crack packs to try and get to what he needed. And he was originally only planning on spending like $100, but they just couldn't get any wild cards. So they had to keep opening more and had to keep opening more and had to keep opening more until it was, I think he said it was $600 or $700, he said.
Yeah.
And that was just to complete the like one major deck that the kid wanted to build. That's insane. That is insane. Wizards, y'all have dropped the ball here. Like $50 of rares and mythics. It's just not good. It's not. It doesn't feel good at all.
It really doesn't. It really nails in the point that this game is for people who can afford it. This is pay to win and pay to play. So just either pay it or get out.
It's a middle finger. Yeah. It is very much a middle finger to the lower players in the the 99%ers.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where I've always liked paper Magic, to where at least there's a format for everybody, and there's ways to be able to play even within a budget because you can buy those individual cards still. And yeah, we're not even going to get into the secondary market in paper. That's but at least you still have a chance to be able to do whatever in your chosen format, unless it's like Legacy or Vintage. Then you're just going to have to take out that second mortgage on that house to be able to pay those debts off. But
got to give up those kids.
I'm gonna do modern Manaless Dredge.
I gotta fork over my child.
I'm sorry.
Firstborn.
Sorry, little Billy. You're gonna have to. Daddy needs to play Manaless Dredge.
I guess Robert V is not going to be around anymore.
Oh well. But no, like in paper, for the most part in paper, there's even formats like Pauper, and things of that nature, where you have options to be able to play in a budget and still have fun and still be able to compete with everybody else. With something like this, where all the good cards are in the rare slot, basically.
Yeah. You even have on Magic Online has a rental program to where if you keep it under, I believe it's under 20 or 50 ticks, something like that. It might be less, but you can literally rent out a deck to be able to play, and then you'll give it back. You rent out another deck. Like, it gives you the ability to play the game fully and enjoy multiple styles. And it gives you that card limit, or give you the price limit, and you just match the price. So you build whatever decks you want. It gives you the ability to still be open, still be creative, and not feel so constricted by your own wild card slot.
And also another thing with Magic Online is because of it trying to be an online version of Magic, it has an economy. And this is something that really, like I said, whenever I get my PC, I am going to go on Magic Online. Mm-hmm. It has an actual two-way economy. Exactly. You can buy, you buy whatever cards in order to play. But if there's any point in time where you don't want to play anymore, or it's like, you know what, I don't want to whatever. You can sell them. Yeah, it's not for as much as you bought them for, but at the same time, you're still getting back.
Cost to benefit ratio, you're in the positive.
Yeah.
But nah, Wizards. Let's go ahead and get into the next part of all of this. Bring you back up. All right, so they have changed the pricing of constructed events, like your prizes. So it's changed the rewards to offer packs and gems rather than individual card rewards and gold. Good.
Yeah.
It gives you the chance to get wild cards. That was something that very, very much annoyed me playing in events, was that it gives you like 2 or 3 cards, but they're never cards that you want. They're never cards that you're gonna use. So it just felt like a bust if you didn't go 7 wins.
It's like that event I told you about earlier where I played the vehicle deck. It only had the reward for up to 3 wins, and it was 3 individual cards. And I'm thinking to myself, and it's like 23 whatever hours left, and I played a couple games in it, and I kept getting my ass kicked by the blood deck and the Selesnya enchantment deck. But
that deck just side note, that deck is a beast, and I'm very worried if it may end up being too powerful, because it's making everything else have to be hardcore removal.
But no, like when I saw that was my prize, it's like I didn't even get any wins. I just kept losing, and it was like 3 wins. Like, oh, that's 3 cards. I'm like, and it doesn't even tell you what the cards are. It's just 3 random cards, and I'm just like, no, I'm not going to keep playing this until I can get the rewards. So I do see like packs, especially gems.
Yeah,
gems are a good reward to play here.
Gems are so hard to get in Arena because you don't get them off of your dailies. So you need to either win them in tournaments, or you can purchase them as well. You have to spend real money in that.
Yeah.
This gives you the ability to get something that is very hard to ascertain, and gives you packs as well. I think that's a full upgrade. I will give them credit here.
That is a net positive, I think.
So
okay.
I send my flowers when they're due.
Okay. We're coming up a little bit in the announcements here. A little bit. We're coming up a little bit here.
Yeah, and you know what? I will give them. Here's another little bump. How we were talking about renting decks before with Magic Online. So Wizards announced that in the not so distant future, we'd be able to test cards before buying them to help players overcome their fear of spending their precious limited wild cards unwisely.
Bruh, okay.
Now, really cool.
Yeah.
My guess is that you'll be playing against either like Sparky, doing it in just like facing a bot.
Yeah.
But giving you the ability to actually run and see a deck before you play it is fantastic.
Yeah.
I very much like the idea of.
I'm down for this.
Yeah, I like the idea of being able to, because there's a lot of cards that they may look good, but we
play them and it's just like, okay, this doesn't resolve the way I thought it would.
As a Magic player, and learning the interactions can make or break a card, and decide on whether it's even worth getting whatsoever. So being able to see it, it also gives you the ability to see if a card is bugged as well before putting it in the deck. There are problems with that to where certain cards don't work the way they're supposed to. And, I mean, it sucks. It happens. It happens in Magic Online as well.
Yeah.
I'll give that is what it is. But now being able to test it out before you buy it and run it for everybody, run it for yourself is really cool. I will give them their credit.
Yeah. So
Couple of good.
This is a cool thing.
Yeah. 2 cool things. The rest of it, yeah, we might be plummeting right now.
Are we dropping the baby already?
Yeah, especially with this one here.
Oh, this is kind of.
This one pissed me off. Why not? Why can't you give us Pioneer?
Bro, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Like, Pioneer is probably, like, if I ever get back into full 60 card in paper or on Magic Online, Pioneer is probably going to be the format I do it in. Because it's that nice in-between of, like, not standard, but at this point, Modern has just gotten to a point where I don't know if I could ever afford it.
Yeah. I played for a bit when I was originally in college. I played for a couple years. And I took a little 5-year break, about 5 or 6 years. I got back into it, actually, where Pioneer begins, with Return to Ravnica.
Hey.
Such a great set, and that was really fun.
That block was awesome.
Gate Crash. Demir, that was where I got my love for blue. I love Mill.
That was where I more so got my love for, like, green and starting to see whatever with red, because the Gruul mechanic was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called, but yeah, like.
Oh, goodness. Damn it,
Blood Rush.
Blood Rush, yes. With the, you had the boar. That boar gave +3/+3.
The big one was the snake that gave Death Touch.
Yeah. And just bombs out of nowhere. And it was fun because, like Channel, they were abilities that couldn't be interacted with in a normal way. You couldn't just counter it.
Exactly.
That's what made it so much.
Discard.
Yeah.
So it's just the pay mana discard it.
And we see now how good Channel is.
Oh yes.
Like,
I was actually very happy with the Kamigawa pack I've had recently on Arena that I pulled a Boseiju in there, and I have it in my standard Brawl deck now. I'm like, yes. But I've also been learning how good the other Channel lands are too. So
yeah, Otawara puts in work, and Ejano is a great removal spell. 4 damage to an attacking creature.
Oh yeah. But the thing that we're talking about with Pioneer is they're saying they want to bring in a new non-rotating format, but that has whatever things similar to Pioneer. They actually announced recently that they're doing a ban list for this format. That's basically the Pioneer ban list. With cards, so it looks like Pioneer, it talks like Pioneer, but shut up, it's not Pioneer, guys. It's not officially Pioneer, guys. No, why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that? It's not Pioneer. Just because we have the ban list and we have the same, and we're gonna eventually have the same card pool on the game doesn't mean it's Pioneer, guys. Just shut your mouth.
If it walks like a duck and cracks like a duck, it is a new non-rotating format with digital only cards.
But this really, like, annoys me. Like, why not just put Pioneer on there? Pioneer has a robust player base behind it. It's not like Tiny Leaders was, where it was a fry in the pan and then just kind of disappeared. Oathbreaker is here and there. Like, there are still people playing it, but it's not as prevalent as it once was.
It was a cool idea, but it just didn't pop off.
I ended up not being able to get into it, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, Brawl has it to where you can have a Planeswalker as a commander, too. So, I mean, it's... But
so
no,
Brawl wins.
And
I think that's why they're not going with Pioneer. Because of the fact that they have all the cards in Historic, but more specifically, all the cards that they've made for Historic through Jumpstart and through Alchemy.
Oh.
So they want to try and bring in all of these cards that they can edit and change and do as they please. But they want to also dive into the Pioneer cookie jar, but not give us Pioneer.
Yeah, not commit to the name.
So
what are they even gonna call it then?
it's gonna be shit.
Historic Light or Historic Plus?
Historic Plus.
Because it's gonna have more. Wait, but what does that mean for Historic then? Are these gonna be accessible in Historic too?
Yeah, I wonder how far back they're going to go, because right now with Historic is, I believe, does it start with Kaladesh or does it start with Ixalan?
I think it starts with Ixalan.
Yeah.
Like that was around the time. That was like around the time when Arena first came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was around that time.
So yeah, they'll have to add in a bunch of new sets if they want to make this a thing, make Pioneer a thing,
or Pioneer.
Yeah, but
it also begs the question: how many of those sets are they willing to put in that effort for? Because that's going to be the coding, that's going to be programming them, like the animations,
and also those cards. If they're going to keep with the Ixalan start, like these are all cards that are only going to be able to be used in this fourth new format that they've made for this.
Yeah, because Standard, Brawl, Historic, Alchemy,
mm-hmm.
and then this.
So this will be number 6. This will be their 6th format that they're adding into Arena. I wonder. Now I'm probably not gonna get a lot of likes for this.
Oh.
But I really wonder if Historic itself needs to stick around at that point.
Because that's where I'm kind of at. Because if you're gonna be adding these older sets and having them be, why have it be a separate non-rotating format instead of saying we're editing Historic?
Yeah.
You know.
That's where I think it would have been really, honestly, cool of them if they would have made.
Hey, we're adding these sets to Historic, so like maybe like kind of like they did with Kaladesh Remastered, something like that.
Which would and then it would make sense for them to still want to be able to add in all of the cards that they can adjust, adding in the Davriel Broker, adding in the Perpetual cards, all of those, in addition to opening things up for the older sets. It would have been a good win for everybody. I think everybody would have been happy with that.
But the fact that you're making it its own separate format,
it's going to kill it. Negates Historic entirely at that point.
It kind of does. Like, well, because why would I play Historic when I could play this that has a bigger card pool?
Mm-hmm. And it will more than likely have all of those cards. Oh my god! And I just realized everything I said kind of doesn't make a difference, because it says a new non-rotating format without digital only cards.
Oh.
So this just brings up even more questions. Why are we doing it at all then?
Why not just edit Historic?
Yeah. Make Historic Pioneer. You're
this close to doing it. Or at the very least, if you want to keep the digital only cards, have Historic be the Arena version of Pioneer, basically.
Exactly.
Like, just add the new sets. Why even do this? Why even do this? I can't.
That was my one explanation as to why they do this at all. And I just don't know. So that ended with a thud. Started out bad. We started out bad with the. I don't even remember the first thing. God, what was it? We've gone through a whirlwind. The mythic packs.
The mythic packs. That's more of a neutral, I would say. That's
more
of a neutral. And
and then
with the
garbage.
With the wild cards. And then we went up a little bit with the event rewards being tweaked and with the try it before you buy it card thing, I would accept on that front. I would kind of accept it even if it was just a thing of like every week they change up the cards that you can try out.
Yeah.
Kind of like how in League of Legends every week they have the champions you can try out every week.
Yeah.
Like the free champions.
Super cool idea.
Just have and have it be like from the current standard set.
It makes people want to diversify their deck, diversify their play style, and makes people more open to like getting into it. But I think that's gonna be cool.
I think that's the most positive thing. The rewards are almost there, but that's the biggest.
It's like the stock market right now.
And then it just dropped all the way down to the floor with the we're bringing Pioneer, but it's not actually Pioneer, but it doesn't have the digital cards. But shut up though.
Why? Just
why? Man.
But yeah,
I'll stick with Arena. I'll try. I'll try to stick with it and see how I do.
And at this point, I completely understand if you don't. Like, I was the one who told you to give it a try.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, like do it for the homie. Every now and again we can hop on and whatever.
Play some historic brawl, but I'm sorry. I'm now
okay.
Sorry.
It's not your fault. It's this damn economy.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was trying to build. Actually, funny enough, I was going to build another historic brawl deck. Right now, I'm running Tetyova, Benthic Druid. It runs fine. It's getting outclassed though by everything. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and build a new deck. I'm gonna try and build something new. And then I realized I didn't have enough wild cards for anything.
Wop wop.
You're not getting 50 out of me. I'd rather spend my money in real cards. I'll be honest.
50 is a commander precon and whatever and sleeves.
Literally, the whole. You're doing the what is his name? Kabi or whatever. Trash. I know. Actually, let's see how it looks on Streamlabs. Oh, damn it! I think my camera crashed again. But trash. But yes. So let's go ahead and pause. No, actually, we'll keep it recording.
Yeah.
God, I hope this is recording. It says my webcam's kind of crashed, but we're gonna trudge on.
Trudge on through. Yeah.
All right. So, next up on our list, we gotta talk about a rough topic.
This is the portion of the episode where it gets a little more serious, guys. There's not as much funny stuff that I can really say about this.
Yeah. So, for those of you that do not know, there was a certain person with I Hate Your Deck by the name of Michael David Lynch. And he was in a movie a long time ago.
He directed a movie a long time ago called I don't even remember what it's called. But,
yeah, legitimately can't remember it at all.
But it was I think the movie came out like 2016 or something. Recently there was a BuzzFeed article that brought up a Washington Post article, I believe it was, from 2018, where an actress that worked on the movie with him was talking about her experience and how there was and initially it was just that, and we'll get into
Benita Robledo.
Yeah, Benita talked about how, like in that 2018 article, she talked about how she was basically coerced into doing a full frontal nudity scene for the movie, but with the condition that she would be able to have final say over how the scene went. And when she went to the screening of it, to the initial screening of the movie, it was the full frontal that she did not want to have. So, and when she went back to Michael David Lynch to try to change it, and by the way, and how she was coerced into it was he was basically saying things like, oh, well, it's because I guess a lot of the movie is like improv or whatever. So he was like, well, it fits the mood of the scene, and this is how I want it, and this and that. And keep in mind, this is all the initial information that came out, because there was more information that came out recently. But and this is just from this 2018 article. But that when she came to him about trying to change whatever with that scene, he was kind of resistant. But then he did end up letting her do a version of the scene that was with her shirt on. And also with the 2018 article, he was approached about it. And he was super defensive, saying, well, she wanted to do it, and this and that, and just kind of coming off whatever. So that all came out. And of course, Matt and I saw it almost in real time blowing up on Magic Twitter, and how with all this initial information resurfacing like this, people were there was some skepticism from people, but overall there was this overwhelming feeling of we believe victims, and this and that. That, by the way, you should believe victims when they say things like this. And that on one person's post in particular that I follow, they were talking about it, and the I Hate Your Deck Twitter responded to a comment that someone made doing the same thing, being defensive. Well, she wanted to do it, and then also bringing up like, well, she was this and that, ruined an 8-year relationship on set as well, trying to drag her through the filth essentially initially. And then also I didn't see this part personally, but I heard about, he was trying to say there was like whatever video interview that the interview she did that sort of discredited whatever, and this and that, basically trying to discredit what she said. And then after all that happened, he eventually on his Twitter, because that was on I Hate Your Deck Twitter, on his Twitter, he came out with a statement that was like, I want to try to move better, and I'm sorry for what I did, and this and that, and trying to change. And there were people that were willing to try to accept that he was going to change. I was not one of those people, because as multiple people pointed out, why are you saying that? But the minute that this comes back out, you're immediately defensive, and you're only apologizing and trying to say you're doing better now after you got backlash for it. This past week, or actually this has all been unfolding within the past week or two, but Benita recently spoke out and made a video on YouTube. We're not gonna play it or anything, but she not only confirmed everything that happened, and she spoke initially in the beginning how his team reached out to her and he apologized to her for what happened, and she initially accepted the apology, and then she found out about what was going on in the Magic community, and she found out about how she was being attacked by him on Twitter, and this and that. She found out more and more stuff about it, and then his team went to her and was like, "Do you want us to represent you to take you off of the BuzzFeed article?" And that's when she started getting whatever together. And she also, as I mentioned earlier, this is when she revealed more information about what happened. The reason that she did not want to do that scene the way that he initially wanted it to go is because she had been suffering with body image issues to where she developed an eating disorder. I believe it was anorexia. So seeing that full frontal like that in the way that it was originally shot was starting to trigger a lot in her, and it was whatever.
And these were all things that she vocally expressed and told him several times, and he still decided to use it.
Yeah, and on top of that, there was another additional layer to it that she added with this video she released. And that is to say that he basically was trying to blackmail her. There was a project that her and a friend of hers were really trying to get off the ground and needed someone to help film for the filmography of it. And so that's when, them being friends at the time, she went to Lynch and was whatever. And then he was like, on the condition that I get to direct it. And he was like, and she was like, okay, fine. And then when all of the nudity scene, well, either you film the scene the way I want it to, or you don't get your footage for your basically what was a passion project of hers. And so that's when she agreed to do it. But on, like I said earlier, the condition that it turns out the way she wants it to, it didn't. She went back to him and ended up getting reshot with the shirt instead. But then there was the additional thing. She won a Best Actress award at a Texas film festival, and she wanted to have her team reach out to him to get her award. And he tried to blackmail her for the award, saying, "You need to get your award. You need to go to the festival with me, smiling and waving and almost pretty much acting as if it didn't happen." And
wow.
Then someone who was on the project with both of them, a third, a different person, heard about everything that happened and basically went to him, got her award for her, gave it to her, and apologized to her. And that's how she got the award. And after all of this, as well as hearing about what was happening in the Magic community, she basically ended up retracting her apology because it's not seeming like he's actually changing.
Exactly. The genuinity he has fully shown his colors here. It's low down, it's low, it's
disgusting.
It's truly disgusting and really sad for her.
Yeah.
This is one of those cases where there really isn't any, you really can't debate good or bad in the situation. It's very clear. Especially once you come to the fact that he withheld her video.
Yeah.
Blackmail is a real thing. And people like to try and victim blame all the time and try and poke holes. And this is one of those times you 100% can see who's in the wrong and who's in the right.
And I feel like it's also something, because there were some people like, well, it's only the BuzzFeed, it was only this and that. There's no further proof. The fact that she is not only able to corroborate it, but that there was also additional information that the article probably didn't want to mention initially for her safety. And it was in the 2018 article in the Washington Post was part of a bigger article. Her part of it was part of a bigger article about the Me Too movement. And about other people, and was amongst other people's stories of similar situations happening to them, as a result of people coming out and talking about them, and also another thing for me, this is the latest in a long line of people in the Magic community showing their true colors. It happened like we talked about in a previous episode. There was Seth McKinnon. There's also apparently just Magic artists seem to be prone to whatever ridiculous stuff. I can't remember the names of some of the other artists that have basically been disowned from doing Magic art now. But I also gotta at some point look through my card to see if I have any of their art and look at that list. I bookmarked a list of all of them. But it's just
do that for me too. Actually, can you send that to me?
Yeah, but no, it just seems to me. A pattern I've seen with the Magic community, we want to platform people that we feel are good people, and they show one thing. They show they're open to being inclusive. They want whatever things they want to be. They seem like cool people, and then their true colors show, and everything just kind of falls apart. And I have been so pleasantly surprised at how well the Magic community on Twitter and just all over have banded together to say, no, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Especially even before her making her statement, just all the way through, basically as it was going on, just more and more people just supported whatever. And now it's gotten to the point where the big names that appeared on I Hate Your Deck, particularly Rachel Weeks, even Olivia,
Dang it, what's her name?
From the CAG as well, but yeah, like Rachel Weeks, Olivia, Prof from Tulane Community College, and a few other people I can't think of right now have all pretty much said, okay, we're not going to work with them ever again. We're not going to work with them. We're not going to associate with them. This is horrible and this is wrong. And it's awesome to see the bigger names that worked with them saying, okay, no, we're not doing this. And it's also another thing that has been highlighted is people saying we don't need to necessarily just look at the bigger names to try to uplift and whatever in the community. We should also try to just maybe uplift some of the smaller voices here and there. And
it's the hard part about the social media sphere, because a lot of these people, like a lot of the bigger names, these are people that grew up with Twitter. These are people that grew up with Twitter, and I know that you as well as I. We talked about this the other day. There was some we would say some toxicity in the past, and it wasn't whether it was talking to each other as friends or talking to our other friends or posting on social media. Sometimes I know I have a history that I've been trying to delete. I just can't remember the password for the old account I had. But like bringing those up, we have a problem with people who have grown up with social media.
Yeah.
And people have drawn those lines. Either they're going to continue to use these things irresponsibly or be better.
Yeah.
And the Magic community as a whole has been very nice to see that as a whole people want to see the best out of the Magic community.
Yeah, that is something I've been very happy about, as well as the fact that it's a community that is very willing to hold people accountable. That I think is the biggest thing out of all of this, is hold other people accountable, but also, as like Rob just mentioned, like I will also mention, there's been some things that I've said and done in the past, whether it was online or even offline, that weren't the best and were hurtful. But I'm willing to hold myself accountable for those things.
Yes.
And learn from them and move on and be better. And that's, I think, another important aspect of this. We can hold Lynch accountable all we want to, but if he's not actually showing that he wants to be better, I'm not going to believe him. I'm not going to whatever. It would take a miracle.
Yeah. Growth and genuinity, that is what needs to be shown by everyone.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake, especially doing something this foul and this heinous, and to double down on it, that's a bold move, Cotton, and it's fucked up.
Because, like, not laughing because it's funny, but, well, you know.
No.
They'll probably know. But it's just, it really is sad to see that people will try to double down on it and almost act like how things were before social media, that it's just going to go away eventually. Mm-hmm. And that it's just going to, it'll blow over. But once it's online, it's there.
Yeah, and some things shouldn't blow over.
No.
I think that's a big problem, that people will be like, oh, it's only a temporary thing. It's not temporary for the person it happened to. Benita Robledo, she's talking about this, and this happened in 2008 or 2009?
I thought it was either that or like between that and 2012 or something like that. Like it was whatever time ago, but she is reliving all of this again and
you know that she's probably thought about it since then too.
Yeah, it's something that stays with you. It's trauma, and it's amazing and awesome that she put out the statement that she did. I always encourage people to try to put out whatever, but at the same time, it is very difficult to do. And
yeah, it takes true strength,
and sometimes it does take It does take time. Sometimes even to just process what happened to you. Because of this, I've seen some of my buddies that are on Twitter talking about their own experiences that at the time they didn't realize it was whatever, but then reflecting on it now, especially with this happening, that they realized it was wrongdoing that happened to them. And
you see the dangers of the blatant disregard all around.
Yeah.
This was a hard story to see and cover because it is something that is not just serious, but something that is it's heartbreaking to know that this is something that still happens.
Yeah.
This shouldn't happen.
Not at all. And it's sad to think that it might still be happening present day. This is just stuff that's been coming out about what happened a decade or more ago. Like, being brought to light. Like, I hope it doesn't take another decade for all of the stuff that is being done right now to come out.
Yeah.
And I believe that believing when people tell you things like this is a key thing for fostering a culture of being able to come out when something like this happens to you, instead of how it's been in the past where people just are like, well, it wasn't that bad, or oh, you know, and just kind of tucking it away and just not dealing with it. And this is something I remember I saw a tweet about this. Someone said it's not just something that shouldn't be happening in the Magic community. It shouldn't be happening anywhere.
Yeah.
It should not be happening anywhere. But I feel like since we're talking about Magic a little bit more so, it's been awesome to see the Magic community band together, and I hope that we continue to be vigilant and be careful about some of the people that we put this much support. Because I Hate Your Deck came out like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And it skyrocketed.
It's huge. People love the idea of playing more fun CEDH stuff. Like it was one of the things that ramped us into playing more
and
serious
into trying
CEDH
to
stuff.
up the power levels of our decks and everything. And to also, when they started doing it, seeing on camera people having those Rule Zero discussions and stuff like that. Like there's genuine cool things that came about from this show. And for me, I got into it honestly because of Joe. Seeing his episode of Game Nights and how awesome he was, and to hear that he was doing a show. I didn't even know who Lynch was initially.
Yeah, me neither.
You know? And I was like, Joe, that actor from that appeared on Game Nights is doing his own show.
Yeah, and he's super cool.
He's awesome.
That's who I'm very interested on. I haven't seen if he's put out any response or anything yet.
Well, because there's been some drama going on with that because of him leaving I Hate Your Deck, and now he has Tabletop Jocks on YouTube, which I'm definitely gonna.
Yeah, I'm definitely checking it out.
And it's not even just Magic; it's also D&D and board games too. But he's also talked about where there was a little bit of drama with whatever Discord server, with whatever in the Discord server, but it was mainly and he's said that there's some stuff that he can't talk about because of there being NDAs with the contract, with some contractual agreements with certain things he can't talk about. But with the stuff that but he's been very open, even through the Tabletop Jocks Twitter. And I saw, he very openly was like, it went down like this, and and was very upfront about it. And that, to me, shows a lot.
Yeah.
And it also shows a lot about Lynch.
And that's where I'm like...
like I said, for me, it's going to take...
such a shame.
It's going to take a miracle for me to change my mind about this guy. About Lynch, because...
He's dug his grave, and now he has to lie in it.
And people have suggested maybe just stay out of the Magic community for now. I don't know if he can entirely afford to because there's unfortunately still going to be people that will watch I Hate Your Deck despite all of this. Yeah,
and that's the part that blows my mind. It sucks because I Hate Your Deck. It was Joe. It was Michael. It was there was 5 or 6 people involved in their production.
Yeah.
Those are other people that are getting affected by this. they can't get the sponsors that they need now.
Hell, Dragon Shield pulled out. Actually, like from what I heard, I haven't seen it. I didn't look at the website yet, but from what I've heard here and there, a lot like their sponsors page on the website is pretty barren right now.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to affect everyone and everything involved with the production.
Yeah,
and that's a damn shame.
Because I'm pretty sure everyone else in the production isn't like that.
Yeah,
you know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were just as blown back by this as everyone else was.
You know, like I wouldn't be surprised if they were about to shoot whatever, and then they heard about this and they're like, "Wait, what? Wait, what?"
I wish I could have been there for the slow turn as everyone looks at Michael like.
The fly on the wall for that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But short and skinny.
Why are we having this conversation?
I feel like it kind of hurts to still have to say don't be a shitty human being and treat people with respect in the year of our Lord 2022. But here we are. Having to say don't be a piece of shit and be good to people and be respectful no matter what people are, no matter whatever people are. Like,
it's a shame.
It's a feel bad for sure.
I'm gonna keep an eye on how the rest of the story develops.
Oh yes.
I really need to see some true resolution here.
Yeah.
Give some closure to Benita.
Amen.
To finish this and get Michael out of here.
Yeah.
One of the big things she said, I made sure to actually quote it when I tweeted it. It's not cancellation, it's consequences.
Yeah. That was really what stuck with me.
Like, there's
She's right.
Yeah, this is someone who deserves the consequences that he's getting. And I hope that this gives her some ability to rest a little easier at night now.
I hope so. Because she certainly deserves it. And
Prayers to you, Benita.
And her husband's been awesome because he's been going on Twitter here and there too.
Oh, so that's so.
Because I retweeted someone that posted the video, and she liked my retweet of it. And then like I've seen her husband here and there be on Twitter, like when Rachel Weeks made her statement, and he was like she doesn't know you, but she appreciates whatever as her husband. And people have been talking with him too about it, and he's been and he's been awesome about this whole thing.
I just hope, yeah.
I just hope we can be better and do better. The community, we just need to be careful who we align ourselves with.
Exactly.
I feel like, honestly, I feel like it's a good place to to leave it right now.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and. So, we're not getting back to a happy note here, but figure we can end on a bit of a palate cleanser.
Yeah,
let's start with a new topic, start fresh, and get into something that's actually, hopefully, will be very fun in the future. What are you building?
Well, I'm actually like damn it. I'll do whatever with that later because I'm actually looking at whatever commander decks I'm going to be building on whatever app right now. This Neon Dynasty has definitely like as we talked about off recording, it's revitalized my commander deck building. Like, because up until this set, I was like, I don't know about this deck or that deck, and now there's a lot. Like there was already the 3 decks I was gonna do before this set. Well, 2 of them I was unsure of, but now I am more sure of. And that was instead of Grixis Pirates, it's gonna be Is It Pirates with Malcolm and Breaches as the partner commanders. Because I feel like it's just better off overall, because the only thing you get with the black in a Pirates deck is Revel and Riches, as well as a couple there's whatever ones that increase Pirates' power by whatever and does stuff with artifacts. But some of those black Dimir or Rakdos Pirates that do whatever with artifacts are just better in other decks.
Exactly.
Than just a Pirates deck based on just treasure tokens. But with Malcolm and Breaches as the commanders, they're not only about Pirates, but they're also about treasure tokens. When you Malcolm is about treasure tokens when you deal damage to a player, and then Breaches is you can play stuff on people's libraries when you hit people. So
one gives you the treasures to
the other
get the other.
The other.
Yeah, that's
so
gonna be
it's
cool.
kind of more leaning towards like a slightly more like a pirate unblockable treasure list.
Oh, unblockable.
Well, yeah, because like the stuff
ninja pirates.
No, but funny you mentioned ninjas. Because some of the stuff that I'm going to be building. The other 2 decks I'm going to be doing that I was going to be doing before was Jeskai Giants with Rowan of the Fomori. That was in the air for a while, but now I'm doing it.
Good. Yes.
Plus, I have a majority of the cards anyway. I just got to pick up whatever stuff for the land base as well as certain giants and changelings. And then
just trying it out there, guys. This was the Giants deck that we actually did a deck tech on. Back, what was that, episode maybe 3 or 4?
Yeah, early on. There's been some slight changes to it here and there, but yeah, like it's pretty much like that deck, the central idea for that deck. And then the third one was my 5-color tribal with Reaper King. That's slow but sure, mainly because of triomes and now the new ones from New Capenna that we'll talk about in a separate episode.
Yeah.
Then
did we do that episode? I can't remember. Did we do that in an episode? Did we talk about
I don't think
the New Capenna stuff?
I don't think we've talked about New Capenna yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But like it's mainly the land-based stuff with tribal that's going to be a bit of an expense. But the stuff I want to build because of Neon Dynasty now is, speaking of ninjas, a Dimir unblockable deck using Satoru Umezawa as the commander, where it's basically, as I think Rob and I talked about outside of recording, the lower mana creatures are going to be like the ninjas and like little unblockable stuff that does whatever with ninjutsu, and then as you go up the curve is where it's going to be the stuff that I'll be cheating out with the ninjutsu effect, like
thick boys,
like maybe not. We'll see about the Ultrons and Titans.
Just saying. Invisible Stalker in the Ulamog is quite possibly the funniest command play you could ever do. I'm with it.
Going from an unblockable ninja to, hey, look, it's a predator.
Ooh, oh my God, Elish Norn would be. Oh, I wish you could do Light there, because Elish Norn would be sick in that deck to pop in and be like,
yes, it would.
Get rid of any of the 1-drops out there.
But I feel like Shieldred and OG Jin-Gitaxias will still be funny as fuck in the deck, though. So look forward to that in the future. I'm gonna finally solidify the Aristocrats deck by having it be Rakdos with the new Hidetsugu.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
And for his exiling ability that deals damage, yes, I will be finding ways to give him Infect.
I'm all in support of this. I can't fault him on using Infect either, because I'm running Caddy Bree right now, and there may be a Glistener Elf in there. There may also be a Ichor. Oh my God, what's his name? It's a 1/1 infector. That's an artifact creature. I can't remember. It's Ichor something.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, so that'll be a funny deck. I'm gonna be doing Jeskai Jeskai Giants. Sultai Enchantress with Tatsunari Toad Rider.
Ooh.
Originally it was going to be a frogs deck, but there are not enough frogs.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only so much of the deck I want to dedicate to changelings. So, and there's only so many decks I want to have that have changelings in it. But no, it's gonna be an Enchantress deck in Sultai, and I feel like for me, Enchantress as an archetype has just been boring because it's either Bant with the Merfolk that gets bigger as you cast more enchantments, like
yeah.
And then there's Selesnya and all the options for Selesnya Enchantress. And
it's cool that you're going with the
same.
Yeah.
It all feels same. With at least with the Sultai stuff, I get some good I guess I can use some good removal with the enchantment stuff, as well as some good recursion here and there.
I very much like the idea of Sultai Enchantress. It gives you, because I mean, the one thing, especially if you run blue, if you're running just mono green enchantments, you're really losing out on a lot of the removal.
Yeah.
Having it be mono black, you get access to Meat Hook Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
You get access to, I believe it's Executioner's Capsule.
Yep.
What's the Maelstrom or the black green enchantment that you sacrifice to kill all things of whatever cost it is?
Oh yeah.
I will bring it up on here. So Sultai Enchantress, it gives you a lot more options. Having the blue as well is great to be able to bounce your stuff back if someone's trying to get rid of your enchantments. There's a lot of ETB triggers that happen with enchantments.
Ooh, yes.
Bouncing back a Meat Hook Massacre to your hand.
I play the Meat Hook Massacre, kill everything. Okay, someone's trying to get rid of it. I bounce it back to my hand. Okay, my turn comes again. I kill everything again. And also I get to use some of the not as used black and whenever enchantments enter the battlefield effects. Like one of my favorites ones that I always think about is Doomwake Giant. That has Constellation. Whenever a enchantment comes in, it on your side of the field, it gives creatures. I think it's creatures you don't control -1/-1 until end of turn.
That's exactly what it is. Oh, so my goodness!
So there's stuff like that. I could also use I could just use general. There's a good amount of like self-mill / recursion enchantments. There's of course the famous aura in black that I can't think of the name of right now. That you probably know the name of right now. That brings the creature back.
Oh, Animate Dead. Yeah.
I could use Animate Dead. I could use like all of that kind of stuff. I could do the degenerate loops that people do when they hold priority to be able to just keep recurring stuff with Animate Dead. Like
oh my god, yeah. You'll be able the combo potential, especially in Sultai, and the ability to still be able to protect everything because you're in Sultai, like this can be a very formidable deck, and I think that toe is gonna be really fun.
And then the last.
You better have Get Rock Monster in there. I don't even care if it doesn't work for the deck. I will give you my Get Rock Monster to make it work.
I probably will put like a slight self-mill thing in there just to be able to put whatever in the graveyard. So Get Rock Monster is going to be in there, as well as Grolnok probably. So
right on.
But yeah, the last deck I want to do was initially because I saw the precons, and I already have a Gruul deck, and I'm not really whatever about the Gruul precon, but the vehicle precon, like vehicles, have always been an interesting artifact type to me because it's just kind of it's so unique, and they've kind of become kind of like treasure tokens, like kind of become basically there's vehicles in almost every set now, which I'm kind of glad about.
Same here.
And I was originally just gonna do Azorius using either Shurikai or Kotori as the commander, but then actually today we talked about because he's gonna he'll probably talk about what you're probably gonna talk about your vehicle deck. But we were talking about it, and I'm like, I want to be able to do like this originally because I was gonna do mono blue with Katsumara, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Katsumasa. There we go, Katsumasa, and do like a +1/+1 counter thing with the vehicles. But then I was like, but then I miss out on the white, and then, well, I was thinking of Sidri for Esper because then I could do the black. And then I was thinking of Sidri for Esper because of all the stuff, the new vehicle stuff that was coming in for black and Orzhov. But then I was like, but then I'm missing out on like all the red and all that. So now it's going to be a 4-color vehicles deck. Everything but green. With the partner commanders of Akiri, Lineslinger, and Silas Ren Seeker Adept.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that's the best combination as far as the vehicles can go. Like, Akiri will be able to crew any and everything. Once you start getting artifacts on the field, it just steamrolls. So it'll easily be three. What is it? I believe it's 2 toughness on Akiri. 3 toughness on Akiri. God damn. Yep. So it'll be a 3/3, a 4/3, a 5/3 in no time at all. Especially and opening it up to 4 colors gives you the ability to open up your mana base as well, because they also did the dual color artifact lands as well.
Yep. As well as I could use the dual color artifact lands as well as the
original block.
The original artifact lands. I can even and now because of this, I'm actually going to be I'm going to be repurposing the Osgear deck and use a lot of that in this deck because also with Silas Ren, when you deal combat damage with him, you can cast an artifact from your graveyard again. So having not only vehicles but also a sack artifact thing going, I could have whatever degenerous loops and
it opens up your card draw options much more because you can use all the looting stuff as well now. You have access to stuff like Doretti.
I could wheel people if I wanted.
He could wheel people if he wanted as well, and it would fully work to his advantage. I very, very much like the idea of making it 4-color. And doing it, everybody does the Brea. I even have a Brea deck. But Brea definitely plays a bit differently than what you're looking at.
Oh, yeah. Like, that, I've always been kind of apprehensive of 4-color decks in the past because there's only so many, I guess I was always kind of afraid of doing the partner commanders because I was like, is it even going to, make... Because I usually make a deck based off of a commander. So, at that point, it's like, well, if I'm making a deck and then just choosing partner commanders for it, where's the point of that? But then there's only so many 4-color legendaries out there to where it's like, okay, how much of this is just going to be all the same? But then going through the process of deciding it for this deck, I'm like, you know what? This actually feels really good.
The ability to be much more aggressive. That's the problem with using, you couldn't use Brea with this kind of deck because Brea
is a bit more combo and slight control to an extent.
Exactly. This is if you want to do an aggressive idea, doing something big with vehicles, you need to be able to be more aggressive.
Oh yeah, you got to be able to hit with those vehicles all the time.
Yeah, I'm very hyped to see how this works. My vehicle deck. So I'm also gonna go ahead and do a vehicle deck as well, but I'm gonna knock the black off of there because you can't knock the black off me. Damn right. But I'm gonna run Kaikar.
Yep.
So Kaikar gives you a spirit token for every non-creature spell you cast. Well, perfect, because vehicles are non-creatures. So it's going to give you the creatures that you need to crew up any vehicles, while also being able to basically full on flood out with other options. Now, I will say, even with my vehicle deck, it is going to probably be a bit more control-oriented, just because of the fact that I don't have to have as many creatures on the battlefield So that opens up my ability to run. I'm probably going to be running more planeswalkers. I'll be able to wipe the board without a problem because I'll just get back whatever creatures. That's going to be perfectly fine with me. So I'm very excited to see how that works out. That's going to
that'll be interesting. When we're done building the decks, we'll have to face them off against each other.
Yes.
Because I am very much just going to be vroom vroom. Just going off. Like the main, like as far as using Osgear, because like I said, that deck is just going to be gone now and it's just going to be repurposed for this deck. Like that's
reduce, reuse, recycle.
That's gonna but it's just gonna be like the main thing I'm gonna use with stuff like Osgear and the recursion stuff is to just give me the value I need to be able to get to whatever vehicles and to be able to help hopefully steamroll and also just generate a bunch of mana.
Yeah, you know? that's gonna be the cool thing with you being able to run it just like this, like. Those mana rocks, especially when you drop that out of gear, you'll be dropping so much mana with that deck.
And I feel like it kind of almost opens up the deck even more. Instead of it just being a Boros sack artifacts deck, it's a it's everything but green. I have everything but green, so I have so many more artifacts to choose from. And so much more artifact support I can choose from at that point. That's way better, honestly, than Boros.
Yeah, like fully open yourself up on this. That's going to be very exciting to watch. I'm very interested in seeing if Kaikar can work. Remember the episode? Well, there was an episode I did upload that one. Yeah. But I talked about the combo that I'm planning on doing.
Yeah.
The 5-card, Infinite Reflection, Clock of Omens, Kaikar, Short Guy, and Magda.
Just that's gonna be funny to see pop off. I actually kind of look forward to that.
I'm praying that it works.
That'll be funny as hell to see. Like.
It's the most convoluted thing ever, but I gotta make it try. I gotta make a try at it.
Hey, this Rube Goldberg machine is gonna fucking work.
That's how most of my decks are. They are Rube Goldberg's machines of my own design.
For me, the most complicated I get, like honestly, my decks don't really get that complicated. It's more so whatever I can do to be as efficient to do the thing I want the deck to do, which. More often than not, with certain decks, is to just smash people in the face. Like that's where like my Mina and Den commander deck right now, like where I'm happy with that deck because that's the main thing it does. Like there's landfall, there's like whatever stuff I can do with that. But the main thing I'm doing is using Mina and Den's ability to give my stuff trample and just smash over everybody.
I want to beat face.
I want to smash.
You beat all of our faces in.
Let me smash.
Let me smack you, girl. Smash and bang. You remember that video? Oh man.
But no. We played.
What was it? Smash and bang. Let me smack you, girl. Smash it and bang.
But no, we played a game at a card shop we discovered recently with another guy, and literally I won that game just because of how much I was able to smash them both down.
It was literally just aggroed out. Aggro City. The dude had a 28 or something like that at one point.
Rogue's Passage his ass today.
The swung and unblockable ended it. It was hilarious.
He was super salty, but I mean, it whatever.
He deserved it. But so the other decks I'm currently working on, the next one I did go ahead and buy the vehicle deck. Yeah. I bought the vehicles, but I'm using Shorkai as the commander for that vehicle deck. But it's not gonna be vehicles. Yeah, I'm that kind of player. I'm running straight up blue-white control. It is going to be... If you ever faced the deck in Modern, when it was running Jace, and... What's the one that gives you birds? Or that's like, you pay X and a white or blue to draw that many cards and gain life?
Yeah. That I think it's a. Is it a sorcery or is it an instant?
It's a sorcerer, I believe.
Yeah, I think I actually have it actually, but I think it's overruled. But I don't entirely remember. I think overruled might be a counter though. But
yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was.
But
that deck is definitely going to happen. It's going to be straight up blue-white control. I'm a troll. I love it. It's gonna be so gross.
I actually kind of can't wait to see how that deck's gonna go. I'm not gonna lie.
But it's nice. It's gonna be nice just to have Shorekai, because Shorekai can just sit there, and I do not have to actually have it be a creature. The equip cost the crew cost is 8, which is gonna suck. But I'm not really looking to crew it.
It has a good value. It gets you good value just on its own, just for being able to draw, as well as being a commander that's hard to target for certain colors.
Exactly, and that's why I wanted to build it, because it's being able to just pay the 1 to make a creature and draw a card. That's exactly what you want out of your commander, to be able to set up a board space, but also not have it be easily targeted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to see if this works. That's going to be a fun project.
Mm-hmm.
The other decks I'm looking at, I'm also looking to build Saskia. I want to attack. Ishin, Two Heavens Does One exists.
Yeah.
I want to attack triggers.
As well as Wolfgar.
Mm-hmm. So, I was actually going to build, my ex-wife, I was going to build a deck for her that was going to be all just bad bitches.
Awkward.
Life is awkward.
Yeah,
I've come to accept my fate. I love you, Sarah. I always will. But yeah. Well, that's a whole other topic.
But
getting into this.
Getting back to Saskia.
Saskia is going to be sick. Because all the cards I was going to use for that deck were all, like, a lot of the women in those colors are all have attack triggers themselves anyways. You have Aurelia as a war leader, giving me extra attack steps. We have stuff like there's going to be all the ones that deal double damage. There's the one enchantment that gives you it has the charge counters on it. So whenever a creature attacks, target player puts the charge counter on it, that player puts a charge counter on it, and you can sacrifice those charge counters to add mana. So doubling those triggers to give me double mana.
You're already in green. And who'd have thunk? Me.
Who? Green definitely needs more mana. Always.
Get that shit out of here. Get that out of here.
Yes.
It's just kind of funny that the first 4-color deck I'm making doesn't have green.
Mm-hmm.
And another 4-color deck you're making has green.
Yep. And it's going to be that's going to be my most aggro deck I've ever built.
Yeah, I mean, having Ishin and Wolfgar in the deck, as well as Saskia as the commander itself, that sounds like a me deck.
Oh, man.
But for the sake of having diversity in the play group, I'm not building that deck.
I'll gladly fall on the sword for this. No problem. This is going to be fun.
You already have Saskia, so I mean, like...
Yeah. We're going to make it work. I'm excited to see how that one goes.
I actually am very excited to see how you do it. Like, that's going to be fun.
Oh. Yeah, the last deck I'm really working on right now is I want to build a Gav deck with Gav Guru Spores.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to do tokens, man. That's going to be all tokens all day, all the time. That one is going to be going to be probably my most fun deck. That's going to be a straight up fun deck.
There were times I wanted to build that deck, but I just kind of couldn't do it because of the way I wanted to do it. But that just sounds like a fun ass deck. It really does. Like, and there's still some ridiculous stuff you can do with it too.
Mm-hmm. There's still the infinite combo with Archangel of Thune and Spike Feeder. I'll be able to put that into the deck.
Yeah.
Squirrel Nest. There's infinite combos with Squirrel Nest.
Oh God, yeah.
Being able to untap the land to tap it again to make another squirrel.
And hell, mainly because of the fact that you can do all the plus and plus counter shenanigans in those colors as well.
There's Cathar's Crusade exists.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit! Oh, damn it!
Oh, don't worry. I've thought about these already. You're just adding to my terrible, terrible nature. I'm very excited. That's good.
That sounds like a fun ass deck, though.
Yeah, I've been inspired to build again. I love building decks for Commander, and
it's fun.
By extension, Historic Brawl. I still need to build another deck there, but
you'll get there.
Need more wild cards.
We need more wild cards, Wizards.
That aren't $50 a goddamn pack.
But no, I'm kind of waiting. I'm kind of waiting until New Capenna to make any commanders in shard colors. Because I might make a Bant deck at some point, but I'm waiting to see what commander comes out. Because we'll talk more about it in a separate video. But that Bant Ascendancy that came out makes me want to build that, because you know how long I've been waiting to see about a Bant +1/+1 counter commander.
Yeah,
that wasn't Voltron.
What's it called? The Broker's Ascendancy.
Broker's Ascendancy.
Yeah.
That to me is like, okay, time to make the Bant +1/+1 counter Super Friends deck.
Wow, that sounds super fun. Oh my god.
To see what commander that's going to be. What the commander's going to do from that. As well as what the precons are going to be like. So
that sounds super fun.
Here's to hoping. And also I'm waiting to see if there's a commander that comes out in that set that's more interesting in Naya. Give me interesting Naya commanders again. It's my favorite 3-color combo, and I want to have a deck in it, but you're already doing dinosaurs, and everything else in Naya is boring.
You have Mael forever, but that's cool. But that's honestly the last real good Naya commander besides dinosaurs. Oh, Marath, I guess.
Yeah.
But Marath was also another one that was so done to death.
Yeah, a similar deck would be Animar and Teamer.
The fact that Naya, such a popular color combination, such a great aggro combination, the fact that it's not getting represented is a travesty.
But let's hope New Capenna fixes that.
Fix it.
And I think on that, we can end on a high note that isn't. Yeah. So
Arena, fix it. I'm ruining the high note. Come on, wild cards.
It would make
$2, $3.
It would make me at least.
But with that in mind, let's go ahead and close this out. This was a very, very good day.
Yes.
It was very good talk.
Yes.
Very real talk.
Yeah.
So I want to end with just reminding everyone to be respectful, be loving, treat everyone with respect. We all want everybody to win. This is a fun game. Let's keep it fun. Magic the Gathering is supposed to be a game with all-inclusive. It's supposed to be a game that is enjoyed by all and loved. But don't let the bad apples ruin the whole game for you.
Yeah.
And call the bad apples out.
Always.
Don't let them keep going either. They don't deserve it.
And also believe people when they come forward with their stories of terrible things that have happened to them. And for them calling out the people that did those things to them.
Yeah.
Because we need to have that culture where we can feel open about calling people out and making people feel safe.
Exactly. Everyone should feel safe in this game. This is a card game. we should be able to lay with the comfort of knowing that the person who's sitting next to us or sitting in front of us is also a good person at heart. Be a good person at heart. I'm so heartbroken that any of this happened. It's not fair to anyone. But if nothing else, let this be a lesson to show the good in the community and what the heart of the game is supposed to be. Yeah. We play this game for fun. We play this game to have a good time. It's hard to have a good time with people who aren't good. So be good. But with that, I'm Rob.
I'm Zoe.
You guys have a great day, okay?